Ken Scally here, Technical Director of Chemtest Laboratories. I'm fortunate to be here with Mike King. Hi Mike, how are you? And Mike is the National Sales Director for Pace Analytical here in the US. We've just been through a lunchtime seminar on emerging contaminants, and Mike, one of the key compounds that came out there for discussion of interest is 1,4-dioxane, and PFAS. We'll talk maybe a little bit later about that. But what's your thoughts on 1,4-dioxanes and their value, or what's happening within the emerging market sphere here in the US?
I know there's some differences between Europe and the US and how we approach things and how we react to them once we determine they're toxic, obviously. But welcome to the United States, Ken.
Thank you.
We're at Pace. We're trying to be on the cutting edge for things like 1,4-dioxane. Okay, we offer a broad range of capabilities for consultants to evaluate and remediate, etc. Things like stable isotope analysis to see if you have multiple sources for 1,4-D. Other people are like a commingled plume, as an example, or also to see if once you start to try to remediate, is it actually degrading? Is your solution working? A stable isotope analysis can do that for you, along with a lot of other tools. And then, of course, right now we're doing 1,4-D testing at very ultra-low detection limits to make sure that we're getting it cleaned up at a safe level, especially for drinking water.
And Mike, what's your view on the whole PFAS and the different states have differing levels of kind of values, and how does that pose a big challenge to a big lab like yourselves over here to meet those low detection limits?
It's a challenge, but the way the EPA, the United States is a huge country, and every state has different geology, and they have different types of industry that contaminate the environment differently. And so the EPA, generally speaking, will set a guidance, okay? And then they ask the individual states to step up and enforce that general guidance with specific criteria that meets the needs of their state. So what you get is every state's working on a different timeline. They end up having different detection limits that they think are protective. Everybody does it a little differently. Is it difficult to work with? Absolutely, but it's what we're used to. And I think the approach makes sense as a general rule. That's okay. Let's keep going.
Keep going.
We lost a little bit of light.
A little bit of light here, and got a bit of cleaning up going on behind us as well. So
exactly
apologies for the background noise, folks.
But anyway, I think PFAS is going to be with us for a long time. It's a huge problem worldwide. It's in our blood. It's proving to be toxic in different ways. Toxic endpoints are being discovered. So we have to take action. And I think you said yesterday that that maybe Europe is maybe taking a little bit of a wait and see attitude to see how we move on it. I think from the presentation we just saw, the Department of Defense here in the United States is being very proactive, where other people are some states are way back, some, it's all over the board. But we'll eventually all get there. So, and we watch Europe. A lot of times with your REACH program, which I think is far better than TSCA, it's far more effective. But as the speaker said today, does it curtail, creativity? I don't know. I hadn't thought about it that way. I kind of like the precautionary principle. I'm sure you do too. So I think we can all learn from each other. We watch Europe. A lot of times you guys are ahead of us in some things, and I'm sure you kind of take the same view. If we're taking the lead, learn from us. So it's all good.
It's all good. Mike, listen, I appreciate your time. Thanks very much for taking a few minutes out to have a chat with me, and I'll come back to you again soon later on. Thanks very much, folks.
You just have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Mike.
All right.